So from an NAACP, starting with this case, we are looking for the woman in question to be charged. But when I look at it from a societal perspective, what message is that? And in terms of the word, these are not just words. These are words that people have been killed because of. People have been lynched because of it. So it's not just a word. And with the viciousness in terms of how that was done, and then the attack on a child, we just can't let it stand.
We're strongly recommending that the city attorney and or the county attorney explore every law on the books that can hold this woman accountable for what she did.
For almost a week, I felt like I was falling into a hole and the light was closing due to the threats and the phone calls and defamation of character I'm receiving online. But last night I posted a video on my TikTok and I received a lot of support. A lot, people are coming up. When I set up that GoFundMe account, all the hateful people in this country attacked it. It was paused for a moment. And, but it's been back right now, but I feel it's very tough. I don't have a lot to say. The brothers already said much. But please, thank you for whoever came to my aid, and thank you whoever came to the aid of that child as well. But one thing that I must say is that don't let this die down at this moment and move on. We gotta make changes. Thank you all.
So as I reported to you guys, they had a whole town hall meeting about the Shiloh Hendrix situation. And the whole thing was weird. Okay, they had the town hall meeting at a civic center, as if it was some sort of concert, some sort of big event. And they brought up random speakers like it was a seminar, right? They brought up a bunch of random speakers that had nothing to do with the situation at all. They just got on the microphone and pretended to be offended. It was like the victimhood Olympics. It was really a sight to see, especially when you know that violent crimes are through the roof in this area and no one is addressing any of those problems. There's a lot of women, a lot of little girls getting R-worded, especially in the immigrant Somalian communities in this area. And all of that stuff is covered up. None of those girls, none of those women ever get help. There's no town hall meetings about that. But someone said the N-word, and they literally rented out the entire civic center for everyone to come sit down so they could preach to them about how bad white people are. They even brought up the Somalian camera guy, and everyone applauded him like a hero. And he got on the microphone, he cried, he played victim, he basically promoted his GoFundMe while talking about how hateful America is. If you think America is hateful, try living in Somalia. There's a reason why they're coming here. I am so tired of people complaining about America while desperately trying to get into America or desperately trying to stay in America. But the overall situation was just weird. And this overall story, it keeps getting weirder because, look, once again, we were told that we were going to hear from the family at this town hall. So everyone assumed, okay, we're here at the town hall because the family's going to come out and speak. The family did not show up. The 5-year-old autistic child did not show up. They brought a bunch of random speakers, some of which don't even live in the area, to come talk to people, but they did not bring up the family. So I don't know how you guys feel, but I've had a weird feeling about this story from the beginning. And I still haven't gotten to the bottom of what exactly is going on here. But I know there is something off about this story. Now, some people have thrown out different theories, and believe me, I've gone over dozens of theories in my mind, and we've even talked about some theories here on this channel. One theory that people keep floating out there is that the cameraman was working with Shiloh and they were all in on this to raise money. But that theory doesn't make sense. Because usually when a white person is caught on camera saying the N-word, their life is completely ruined. Usually they lose their job, they get shunned from society, they get canceled, they don't get help and support. This Shiloh Hendrix situation is the first of its kind. It's unique. It's the first time that people said no to cancel culture. It's the first time that white people rallied together and started acting tribal like every other group in this country. It's the first time that a white person's life wasn't completely ruined after saying that word on video. So I don't think this Somalian and Shiloh got together and was like, hey, we'll become millionaires if I catch you saying the N-word on video. That just doesn't make sense because we haven't seen things like that happen before. Usually it goes the other way, which is why the Somalian was so quick to record Shiloh. You could even hear in the video, we'll see what the internet says about this. He recorded her to ruin her life. Never in his mind did he think that she would become a millionaire. But it backfired for the first time ever. So there's no way they were working together to come up with that plan. That's just, I highly doubt that. But for me, the weirdest part about this story is still the absence of this child and the absence of this family. Because, you know, they scheduled a big protest. And everyone thought that the family was going to be there. And then we found out that the family wasn't going to be there. And most people didn't even show up for the protest. But a few people did. But they kind of canceled that entire day's events that they had planned, besides a few people standing outside with the sign. And then now we have this town hall meeting. We're told we're going to hear from the family. But the family's not there. The kid is not there. The NAACP that we know already had a shady little GoFundMe fundraiser that they claimed was for this family, and they were using fake pictures. The same people who organized that fundraiser, they spoke out at this town hall meeting, and they claimed they had a statement from the family. And I'm going to read that entire statement for you in here in just a second. But first, if you support this channel, if you enjoy these videos, consider supporting the channel in one of many ways. You can support for free by liking the video, sharing the video on social media, commenting down below, becoming part of the conversation. Subscribe if you haven't already. And even if you are subscribed, make sure you have all notifications on for this channel. YouTube does not like recommending my videos. They do not like even letting people know that I uploaded. So you got to make sure you got that notification bell on. And if you want to take your support one step further, you can always donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. It's always greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this mysterious family's statement, shall we? We, as the parents of the young boy, demand that those responsible for this tragic event, the unimaginable pain that has affected our beloved child, be held fully accountable. Our child deserves justice, and we will not rest until it is served. I want to pause right there. It's such a generic statement already. We, the parents of the young boy. That's such a generic statement, right? Or is it just me? Or is it just me? And they say, we will not rest until justice is served. It looks like you're doing a lot of resting to me. We haven't seen your face. These people have scheduled a protest that you were supposed to attend and you didn't come. They had a whole town hall meeting. Everyone figured you guys were going to be there. You guys didn't come. It looks like you're doing a whole lot of resting. It almost looks like the NAACP is just coming up with this stuff off the top of their head. That's what it almost looks like to me. I don't want to accuse them of that. I'm just saying that's how this looks. Especially after the shady stuff that went down with that GoFundMe. And now we get this generic statement, "We, the parents of our beloved child." Like, what? All right, let's go forward. Where was I? They won't rest until justice is served. As the parents of the young boy, as we navigate the emotional, legal, and medical challenges ahead, we are asking the public for financial support. Oh! Now, mind you, they're like, oh, we need medical support moving forward. They're acting like Shiloh injured the child physically. Y'all need medical support moving forward because Shiloh called your child the N-word. She did not inflict any physical damage to your child that would require any medical support. But that's what this is all about. So now, once again, without seeing a kid, without seeing a parent, we get this generic ass statement with the NAACP basically saying, hey, donate more money. And yeah, folks, remember how they had that GoFundMe that raised $300,000 and they used a fake picture of some other kid they found on Google and then they closed it down once they got called out? Now they started a new fundraiser. And apparently the mysterious family that's hiding behind the scenes, they're releasing statements telling people to donate. I don't know, folks. Something seems weird here. But let's go forward. There are individuals who are attempting to benefit financially from the assault that happened to us. We request the authorities to protect us and stop people from using our pain for profit. As the parent of the young boy at the park, our family's safety is no longer guaranteed. We are becoming increasingly vulnerable as more people gain access to our private information, including where we live. We are doing everything we can to secure our environment and shield our child from further trauma, but we cannot do it alone. They can't do it alone, guys. They need you to donate more money. And this is a common theme that they were touching on at this little town hall meeting. They were basically taking a play out of the Karmelo Anthony playbook. You see, they keep claiming that this family and this child are not safe because people are threatening them and people know where they live and all this stuff. But that is a bold-faced lie. No one knows who this family is. No one knows who this kid is. It's been a long time now. This family has not stepped forward. No one's harassing this family because no one even knows who this family is. Now, just like with the Karmelo Anthony case, they lied about all of the harassment they were getting, but at least it sounded believable because we knew Karmelo. We knew Karmelo's family, and people did find out where they lived, right? Now, mind you, the threats that they were getting were people delivering pizza and kids playing with water guns outside that had nothing to do with their family. And they lied and tried to pretend like their lives were in danger so people would donate money, right? But here we have this situation. No one even knows who this little kid is or his parents. Most people are questioning if they even exist. Most people don't believe the kid's 5 or autistic. So it's not like they've been doxxed and people have all of their personal information and they're scared for their life because people are harassing them, because that's not happening because no one knows who they are. The parents weren't even at the park when the kid was at the park stealing. No one knows who they are. And even in their statement, at some points they say, as the parents of the young child at the park. And then other parts of the statement it says, as the parent of the child at the park. So they can't even hammer down if they want to claim that there's 2 parents in the household or 1. The statement literally says parents And then it says as the parent, as the parents of the kid at the park. And then it goes on to say as the parent. And I know that might not seem like a big deal, but it's like, it kind of leaves it out there for you to kind of figure out for yourself. Is this a single parent? Is there two parents? What's going on here? Because the way they word this statement. But then again, it's ignorant people, so, you know, who knows how they may word things. But I don't know. Like I was explaining at the beginning of this video, I feel really iffy and weird about this. And especially because of that first GoFundMe that was shut down because supposedly the parents told the NAACP to do so. But it was only shut down when we all put out videos exposing that they were using fake photos of some kid from Google. And now they have another fundraiser set up. What happened to that other $300-something thousand? Why did y'all close that down and start another fundraiser? I feel like the first fundraiser, you could probably easily prove that there's some shady stuff going down. So they shut it down. They got their ish together. They realized, okay, we have a microscope on us. People are paying attention. And they tried to put together maybe a more legitimate fundraiser, but they still cannot produce the family that people are supposed to feel bad for and raise money for. And it really looks like a scheme for the NAACP to just rake in a bunch of money off of this situation. That's basically what this looks like to me. But hey, maybe you guys feel differently. Maybe you know something that I don't know. But right now, I don't know. Right now, it just screams that this is some type of weird stuff going on, some type of scam or something along those lines. So, yeah, I'm going to need them to actually show us this family. And I would like proof that this was the family involved in this incident. Because there's hundreds of thousands of dollars flying around. We got calls for a woman's arrest and all of this stuff, yet you cannot produce the other half of the story, which is what I keep saying. Until we get the other half of the story coming forward to really tell us how they feel about what happened and stuff like that, then I'm not believing most of the stuff that's going on. And we know from the past that these people, just like the NAACP, they do a lot of shady stuff. They love raking in money when there's certain racial things going on in America. And even if we did know who this family was, even if this kid and this kid's family was in the public eye, would they get some hate? Yeah, it's the internet. Everyone gets hate. I get hate every day. I get crazy messages every day and crazy comments every day. It's life. I get over it. But even if this family and this kid were in the public eye, I don't think they would be in the danger that they're claiming that they're in. Because when it comes to this Shiloh Hendrix situation, as I've explained before, most of the reaction to this story has very little to do with the child and has very little to do with the child's family. I don't think most people are donating money to Shiloh because they hate the child and they hate the child's family and they want to do something to them. No, that's not what any of this is about. People are donating to Shiloh to stand up to cancel culture. People are donating to Shiloh as revenge for what happened with Karmelo Anthony. People are donating to send a message. It's not necessarily to support what Shiloh said. It's not to attack the kid or the kid's family. But that's really how they're trying to frame things. They want people to think that, oh, they're just donating all of this money because of racism. Yeah, people are donating the money to Shiloh because of racism, but not because they're racist. It's because they're tired of the racism that is put on open display and aimed at white people on a daily basis. People aren't donating to Shiloh because they're evil racist. I mean, maybe some people are, but for the most part, people are donating to Shiloh because they're tired of the racism that is being hurled at white people all the time. So, I just don't think it's honest to pretend like this kid and this kid's family, they're like public enemy number one to the people who are donating to Shiloh, and they're definitely in danger. People are definitely coming for them. No, people are just wondering, hey, can you at least prove that this kid and this kid's family exist? That's all people want. People don't want to go harass that family. I mean, if we've learned anything from the last couple of weeks, it's that, it's usually the people who are on the little kid side. It's the people who are on Carmelo Anthony's side that do the harassing and the threatening. I mean, I show you plenty of examples of that every day in these videos. So I'm not buying this victim narrative once again. Sorry your kid was called the N-word. I'm not saying that's right, but you don't need medical help because of it. You don't need to pretend as if the whole world is coming against you and no one even knows who you are. And at the end of the day, no hate is really being hurled at you and your family. The hate that's being hurled is at people who were supporting Carmelo Anthony a couple of weeks ago, but are now all acting like they're so sensitive when it comes to the N-word. But one thing these people are going to do, they're going to play victim. Even when they don't have victims that they can show you, they will make believe victims. They will make up statements. I'm not saying that's what's happening here. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, folks. But even when they don't have a real victim, they will make a make-believe victim. They will make make-believe statements. They will create make-believe hate crimes. Just look at Jussie Smollett. So we know how these people operate. But with that being said, you guys let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.